Yeah, thanks, Claire. You're absolutely right. We're going to be dealing with extreme heat in our neighborhoods today with the heat advisory set to go into effect at 11 a.m. this morning for all of our neighborhoods. This will last until 8 p.m. this evening, as we're definitely going to want to limit our time outside today, especially in those afternoon hours where we'll see peak heat index values possibly into the triple digits and those high temperatures into the 90s. Remember, heat index, that is the value that our body is reacting to. It factors in both air temperature and humidity. And like I said, across the board, we're flirting with triple digits, and we even have a chance to meet or exceed triple digit heat index values today as well. We'll see improvements heading into tomorrow, but for today, make sure you're limiting time outside and drinking plenty of water, especially during those peak heating hours later this afternoon. Showing the progress of this frontal passage moving through some of our neighborhoods a bit prematurely than what we were talking about early this morning. We have a positively tilted line of storms producing some heavier rainfall rates moving through a lot of our neighborhoods, currently still in the Lansing area, impacting areas such as Clinton, Ingham, and Eaton County, still awaiting for that line to arrive in Jackson and Hillsdale. We're still showing dry conditions in our neighborhoods, but we're watching storms off to the west. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in portions of Wisconsin this morning as that slow-moving frontal passage, which is oriented in a very similar position as it was 24 hours ago at the same time, will start to make its track east today, driving scattered thunderstorms across all of our neighborhoods. We have a level 2 slight risk for scattered severe thunderstorms Saturday. This is across all of our neighborhoods. Now, we do have some hindrances. We'll talk about it. But again, satellite and radar first. Look at this great day. This morning, we do have some cloud cover south of 94. That'll be clearing, though, by the time we get to the afternoon, allowing for a lot of sunshine again. Should be really nice. Now, heading into the overnight hours, clouds start to filter in, and then we're going to start to track showers and thunderstorms. Now, if we see any thunderstorms develop in those morning hours, it's going to be difficult for instability, a key ingredient to thunderstorm development, to make its way and stick around for the afternoon when we're going to be tracking showers and thunderstorms ahead of a cold front. This is due to the fact that we have an area of low pressure that has shifted a bit further north. That means that unstable air mass can make it into our neighborhoods, allowing for this severe threat ahead of that cold front that'll be sweeping through. Time frames to look out for: 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. is what right now we're tracking. But again, if we do see some of those hindrances, we could see some changes to the forecast. So make sure we're paying attention, as again, we're looking at all impacts possible. We have an isolated thunderstorm chance heading into Sunday morning, not looking at any severe impacts there. Severe threats, our main threats: damaging winds and heavy rainfall, but we also can't eliminate the chances to see some hail as well as a tornado or two. A look at our excessive rainfall outlook does show a marginal risk across all of our neighborhoods, except for that most southern half of Hillsdale County, and a slight risk for excessive rainfall. We could see some localized ponding across our neighborhoods.
Fox 47 meteorologist Jake DeRees confirms several areas in mid-Michigan are seeing this impact.
Areas like Eaton Rapids are 2 inches below their average for the past 2 months. And we even have areas like Lansing, portions of Clinton County, and Hillsdale under a state of moderate drought. Right now, you're taking a live look outside of Delta Township, right outside Horrocks, and you can see right there the road conditions are not that great, as that lake effect band has now extended into some of our northern neighborhoods like Delta Township and Lansing. We're seeing accumulating snowfall. Slick spots are also expected and reduced visibility. So if you're heading out on the road, make sure you are leaving some extra time and make sure you're staying weather aware. If you come back here, we're going to take a look at a bit more statewide view of what's actually going on. We have this low pressure system off to the west. To the north of it, we have winds from the northwest making their way into Michigan. To the south of that system, we have southwesterly winds making their way in. As both of these flows converge, that's what's driving this lake effect band more inland in the state of Michigan. This morning, it's moving north-northeast slowly at 5 miles per hour with a max sustained wind of 175 miles per hour. That exceeds the 160 mile per hour wind speed from the earlier Category 5 hurricanes this season, Aaron and Umberto, making this storm now the strongest of the Atlantic hurricane season. 8 a.m. we have a new advisory with winds weakening down to 105 miles per hour. That's indicative representative of a Category 2 hurricane. Gusts still up to 140 miles per hour, moving north-northeast towards the Bahamas today at 14 miles per hour as that atmospheric pressure continues to rise as well, showing the weakening of this hurricane. 968 millibars. Of course, when it made landfall, it was in that 800s range, and it's already shattering records. Let's talk a few right now with some stats. It's tied for the second highest winds in the Atlantic when making landfall at 185 miles per hour. That's tied with the 1935 Labor Day hurricane Gilbert in '88, Wilma in 2005, and Dorian in 2019. Now, it's also the third lowest Atlantic pressure on record at 892 millibars and ties Wilma for strongest October hurricane.
Jake, we were talking a little earlier about potential snowfall. What's going on?
I know a lot of people are not excited for it, but some of us are. And early November in our neighborhoods is usually when we see our average first snowfall, not accumulating snowfall, just those first flakes flying. And that is what we are seeing. Let's get right to the ice cream cast, though. Today's special, upper 80s, a trend we've been seeing for the past couple of days, and an isolated shower and storm possible, mainly for our northern neighborhoods. We're going to stay pretty hot and humid. That means that ice cream cone is going to be able to melt a little bit quicker. So what does that mean? Well, just make sure you're eating your ice cream pretty fast. I know I will. I'm excited. I like coffee ice cream. What about you? Let's talk more about the Michigan Salmon Run season, starting as early as, well, right now, early September really starts the Michigan Fall Salmon Run, and it refers to the annual migration of salmon from the Great Lakes into our localized rivers and streams. Like I said, it occurs from early September into early November, with the first big peak of coho salmon entering around that mid-September period. Timing is everything and dependent on our weather conditions, so let's talk about it for that first peak, usually in the mid-September weeks. If we move on here into next week, we're looking at well above average temperatures possible across the entire state of Michigan. This could slow down that migration, meaning not great for the anglers out there trying their best at that coho salmon. So let's talk about the fishing forecast for today. We're looking great. High temps flirting with 70 degrees as we're not tracking any rainfall. And if we actually take a look at the entire week's fishing forecast, we're looking at all green fish here right now. Again, we're staying dry due to high pressure, keeping us with tame weather conditions. So it's great to get out on the boat. Let's talk real quick about past Halloweens. So last year, look at that. High temperatures in the upper 60s in Lansing. Some of our neighborhoods last year were able to exceed 70 degrees with trace amounts of rain. 2 years ago brought snowfall. Yes, measurable snowfall in Lansing, 0.2 of an inch, and trace amounts in other neighborhoods. We're not dealing with snow, not yet. That comes in November. I'm happy about it.